Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a timely tarot oracle reading about random shift. If you resonate with the title and the thumbnail, this is the perfect reading for you, delivered at the perfect time, in timely fashion, courtesy of the universe, through the language of synchronicity. This is a collective or general reading, so just be aware parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Also, this is a timely reading, so if you're watching this right now, it's the perfect time for you. If it has been some time since I posted this, what was going on back then in your life, that would maybe give you more clarity regarding your situation now. We're going to begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. We have the World. So this is saying that you have some achievement that you have aspired to, that you've accomplished here. Or you're in the process, past, present, future, depending on your situation. When the Fool begins their journey in the major arcana, the first card they come across is the Magician, and then they go through a process of 21 cards, and the final one is the World. And so this is saying that you have been on a cycle, you've been working on a project, and either you've completed it and achieved your goal, or you're very close to doing so. And we have, and this is going to, once this is complete, this is the Seven of Cups represents having the a lot of opportunities. So each of these cups is has a gift in it. They all have different gifts. This one is beauty. This one is spirituality. This one is a snake. There's some jewelry, there's a laurel wreath, there's flowers. So everyone has a different energy, and it's up to you. You're like a black hole sucking in all this opportunity. So this is, you have the choice of which of these you want to choose, recognizing that when the universe offers you opportunities, quite often they could be challenges, because many times possibilities are disguised as challenges. So you have to decide which of these cups you want to tackle right now. And the energy is like, when the universe is presenting you with this gift, it's like your destined gift. It's like you stayed on your path and you managed to come to the last card and open the world up to you. So these are opportunities that are there for you. And you don't have to worry about lack. They'll be there for you, but you have to decide which ones you want to accept and in what order you want to accept them, because you're going to have to still put some work into it, but it's like, wow, this is your reward for getting to this level. And then we have the energy of the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands represents the element of fire. Pages in the old days, they would work for the king and queen in the court. And of course, they would generally start between the age of 7 to 14. And they would come from the higher society families in, around the area. And sometimes even like distant cousins of the king and queen. And they would be trained like on how to do small tasks for the palace and also deliver messages. So the pages represent some sort of form of communication coming in. And this page, it's about the element of the wand. And the wand is made of wood. The wand represents it's from a tree. So trees have deep roots, which represents your ancestors. And also the tree has these offshoots, branches, which represent the descendants. So the Page of Wands has a feather in his cap. This is someone who's very enthusiastic. Think of a young teenage boy energy, someone under the age of 21. Now, this isn't saying what age you're at in this. You could be any age. You could be 80 years old and be in this energy. It's more of a feeling. And so the Page of Wands really admires his wand. So sometimes this is representing passion. It's not uncommon for him. He's at that stage in life where he's thinking with his little head more than his big head at times. So you kind of have to take what he's overly enthusiastic at times. Having said this, this is a beautiful card because it's saying, if you've completed a cycle here, and you've achieved something. It means you've been, putting the time and the energy in. And this is saying, like, now you have these opportunities and you have the energy to go after them. And the pyramids in the background here represent the energy of like wanting to explore the world, wanting to explore, mysteries of the world. And this represents someone who would like to, maybe it has an entrepreneurial spirit, and likes to take on a visionary, likes to take on challenges, complete the project, and then start something else because they just love they like to do it for the sake of it. So this is right, and the universe knows exactly what's right up your alley. Is you love, yeah, I'll take on these possibilities, and you don't have to worry about missing out if you don't take them all on at once, because then that's a lot. The idea is that you enjoy the journey, and so that that and the knowledge that each of these opportunities brings to you. And so this can represent some form of communication coming in. In the old days, of course, that would be in person, delivered by hand kind of energy, but this could be a phone call, an email, a letter in the mail. It could be a text, that kind of energy. And it could be a social media post that you see that gives you a really great idea. Hey, that's what I'm going to do kind of energy. Also, it can be represent like watching the news and seeing what's going on in the world and saying, you know what? I think I have a solution for that. I'm going to work on that project right now. That's the kind of energy. Then you have a very strong foundation for the Pentacles. This is saying maybe in the past, due to circumstances or just because of your nature, this is talking about the 3 levels of money. So this sometimes says, don't sell yourself short, and that maybe in the past you have, saying that you're not, there's been opportunities sort of handed to you in the past, and instead of taking them, you played it safe and stayed with, like, this is the 3 levels of making money. This is having a strong foundation, but playing it safe. This is going after your heart's desires, and this is going after the crowning glory. So the universe is saying, if you've been too afraid to take on the opportunities, this is a really good, now you've proven yourself, that don't sell yourself as you have in the past, and really recognize that you're ready for a bigger challenge, something that's going to require a little bit more of you. And that will bring you to your heart's desires. And if you're already at your heart's desires and have done that, and this is another, like, you've already been you've been around the block a time or two kind of energy, you might be going for your crowning glory. And sometimes that means leaving your comfort zone for sure. And sometimes this indicates like he's got his back on the city. And so this can represent that you might have to change your location where you live and move to a different location to be able to take on these opportunities. We have the shift disturber coming in now. So this is interesting. So someone has noticed that, hey, look at all the opportunities that you have at your disposal here. So the shift disturber is someone that, it's a walking contradiction, really. It's talking about, sneaking away in broad daylight. So this is like white-collar crime, if there's crime involved. And it's talking about a walking contradiction because there's 2 swords here that he's left planted, but he's walking off with 5 swords. And look how he's carrying them. Like, who carries swords like that? Like, if he trips, he could cut his hands right off. Like, they're very sharp. And whose swords are those? Did he take them like this from the tents in the village here? Did he take them because he doesn't want to have to fight them, and if they don't have the swords? But then why did he leave the 2? Did he sneak away with these so that they would think that one of the other people there stole them, and then they want to fight? And hey, I'll leave 2 swords so that they go at it instead of coming after me kind of energy. I've never seen it quite like that before. He's on tiptoe. He's looking backwards. And he's not looking into the future, right? And you notice here, you have a feather in his cap, and he's got like this red cap on his head, which can sometimes represent having a big ego. And this is like wanting to stir the pot. Sometimes it can represent someone who's has innovative thinking, But when this card comes around, this is a shift disturber. They like to, they think it's funny sometimes to cause problems in other people's lives. They think it's a big, maybe, sometimes it's because they're like a clown energy, a buffoon energy. Having said that, when this card comes up, if you're planning on collaborating with anyone, make sure that, you really dot your I's, cross your T's if you're signing any paperwork or anything like that, because there's some shifty energy about here. It's sneaky. And then we have the Queen, or the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is coming in, and the King of Swords is sitting on his throne. This is someone who's very highly respected. He probably earns his profession using his words and his intellect rather than, hard labor or working with his hands kind of energy. He is most likely to be like very high up. If he's in a law firm, he's one of the partners. If he's in politics, he's probably right at the top. And so if he could be the prime minister or a president of the country, or even a real live king. Having said that, he could also be like someone in, that's head of, like the federal government level, and is like someone who's in like the financial advisor, or, a minister. And then it also could represent someone who's in the Senate. This can also represent a surgeon, someone who's very highly admired for his medical skills. It's that type of energy. It could be an influencer that's very good with his words. So the King of Swords is known for, like, he understands the power of words, and so he uses his words wisely. He understands words can be used as weapons, and that they also can be used to heal. The sword is a double-edged sword, and he has a very good discipline of his mind. So he doesn't let his thoughts rule him. He considers the thought, takes the time to decide then what action he's going to take. That kind of energy. Also, what I was going to say is this can represent the same kind of, like, this energy is a Page of Wands delivering a message of passion to the king. The king could be a male or a female in their masculine energy, and the page, in the old days, of course, they would be male, but nowadays it could be a male or female in their masculine energy. Then we have this card coming in, the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups energy is an energy of a celebration, but you'll notice this is not my favorite card for celebration. I feel like, what are they celebrating? Because they're not celebrating each other. They're not looking at each other. They're celebrating something, an event, or some sort of something that they've done together that's been successful. And this sometimes can represent a third party that's in a relationship with, like that, where there should be two, or someone like this behind the scenes causing problems in a relationship, that kind of energy. And it can also represent gossip and slander and that kind of energy. What I don't like about this card is because in many, many cultures, in Europe in particular, if you toast someone and you don't look them in the eye, there's a superstition that it will cause you 7 years bad luck in your love life. Well, why, that would defeat the purpose here, because the cups represent romantic love first and foremost, and they can also represent a love of what you love to do. But it's kind of like interesting because we have the passion from the Page of Wands, and we have all these opportunities. So this could represent an energy of someone who uses their charm and their ability, to use their words to charm people into having relationships with them. And they don't care if they're breaking up a couple to do it. So they're dangerous to be around. It could be that kind of energy, someone who's a real player. And instead of these being opportunities for, advancing in your career, or, purchasing the home you always wanted, or whatever that energy is, it's about using it to be with other people that are in already in a relationship. Like it's like, I don't care if they're already in a relationship. It's like a more of a lust than a love, actually, is what I'm getting. I think you get the picture. And so this is talking about, this could be someone also that has heard that you have a lot of opportunity coming in, and they use their charm and their romantic energy to be able to cause you to maybe cheat on your spouse or whatever. You know, it's kind of the energy of like if someone wins the lottery, and you know, you hear about this all the time, people winning the lottery, and you know, you think, oh, if I win the lottery, all my problems will be solved. But it conjures up a different type of energy of problems, because a lot of times it causes misunderstandings with family and friends, etc. And a lot of people that win the lottery, they don't have any, they've never worked with money of that kind in the past, of that amount, and it basically ruins their life. And the statistics are crazy, like how many people who win the lottery end up bankrupt within, you know, 4 to 5 years later, and causing all these rifts in relationships. So this energy is, again, just saying there's a shift disturber around here somewhere. Be very careful who you collaborate with. And if your intuition is telling you that something is shifty, look into it before signing anything. And also, like, if you think, I don't really understand the way my partner, they're acting so different, check into it if your intuition is telling you there's something going on, basically. And then we have, yeah, it's almost like it's caused, like you're carrying burdens for other people. That's the energy I'm getting here. It's kind of like you've done the cycle, you've put the work in, and you should be enjoying your achievement, but people around you aren't necessarily happy for you, and they're conniving with each other to see, like, oh, okay, how can we get our hands on their harvest, kind of energy, because you're almost home and everybody can see it. This represents wands that you've planted, and you're like, sometimes these are very heavy because they're full of the harvest of the fruit of your labor, and you're so close to home and everybody can see, wow, there's a lot of money coming in, there's a lot of opportunity coming in. I wonder if there's a way that I can get my hands on that. And they will, just this attitude of not really caring who gets hurt, that kind of energy. Oh, well, if I cut my hands off, I cut my hands off. It's worth it for the money, kind of energy. So this can be talking about really using your discernment here, so that you put down burdens that don't belong to you, and you don't get guilt tripped into doing risky business ventures with people that they don't have your best interests at heart. They just are like they're trying to charm you out of your inheritance for all your hard work here. That's the energy. And then we have, yeah, the Chariot. So this is like this energy is like, it's on the way here, and it's like you need to be really careful and really follow your intuition here, because there's something, like, I don't like this energy here, like this on top of this energy. It's kind of like someone, there's more than one person, or more than, even, it's not even more than one person, but there could be like 3 groups, different groups of people getting together to see if they can get their hands on your inheritance here. So just, you know, the Chariot represents that the ball is already rolling. Like the Chariot is talking about, if you're destined to have this happen because you've put all this work into it and you're on your correct path, and you know, this is really opportunities. This isn't an opportunist. This could be, this is two versions of a story. This is either an opportunist, and that's you, or this is an opportunity for doing the good work, and that's for you. So this is saying, like, this, if you're on your destined path, what belongs to you here, no one's going to be able, they can delay it, but they can't they can't take it from you. If they do, and this is about karma. And so a lot of people think, oh, karma is like punishment, but karma is cause and effect. Eventually your actions catch up to you and you have to pay the price. That's the energy. And if you don't pay it, your ancestors and your descendants will have to. And so how fair is that? Like, but some people are that selfish and they're that lazy that they'll do it anyway. And this card, just because of the black and whites here, this can sometimes represent that law and order is coming in on the physical realm, that on the spiritual realm, there's been judgment, and that this energy needs to be held responsible for their actions, and that whatever was taken from you needs to be returned. And then you will be celebrating, but not with these people. That's the energy. And so this is like law and order, the black and whites. Like if you look at the sheriff cars in the States, they're still black and white. And I think in some parts of Canada also, the municipal police forces still use black and white. The federal RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, they have white cars in Canada. So, but it's still talking about that energy, law and order coming in. And the funny thing too is, back in the old days, they used to put prisoners in black and white horizontally striped uniforms. Whenever you are in a horizontally striped garment, it breaks up your energy, and it right away weakens your presence. Whereas if you are wearing a pinstripe suit, which you don't see too much of anymore, but vertical stripes make you stand. As soon as you think about a vertical stripe, it makes you want to stand up stronger. And this represents like a strong energy, and it gives power to the person just by wearing the vertical stripe as opposed to the horizontal. It's just some energy information here. And so this can represent that there is some justice coming in for something that was illegal that happened here, that caused danger to other people, that kind of energy. And then we have at the very top here, having the strength and the courage to be able to stand up for yourself is what I'm getting here, is to put burdens down that don't belong to you. And moving on to, you deserve this. You're the one who's worked for it, and let the other people deal with what they have to deal with. We have here from the bottom going up and back down, we have these opportunities coming in because you did the work. And using your intuition, you feel like, man, there's something going on here, and there's a bunch of actions happening behind the scene. You're almost home. Keep going. Don't give in or any of that energy right now. And how this is going to require strength from you. It's talking about really facing your fears around the people around you, like what's going on here kind of energy. Maybe you're in a situation where you have suspicions. Your intuition is saying there's something going on with my partner that I need to look into, but you don't really want to see it kind of energy. You've been too busy working kind of to earn these opportunities. So this is putting the burdens down, and this is talking about you're on your destined path. So what's meant for you and your hard work will come to you in one way or another through the universe. And it's also talking about there may be something, yes, you could, if your intuition is saying there's something not right here, you're probably correct. Where there's smoke, there's fire quite often. And so this is saying it could even be something illegal, and that you need to let them deal with that, and you just keep moving on your journey, and not be guilt tripped into carrying any burdens for anyone else. That's they'll have to deal with what they've done, and you'll make decisions then based on that. We will clarify this energy, so we can just get a little more insight from it. If you're enjoying this reading, give it a like and a comment. I really would appreciate it. It helps me to build my channel. I'm going to use my Oracle, Tales from the Vector, and that's TAILS. So Tales from the Vector is something I began, an Oracle I started painting back in 2007. And in 2020, I completed 64 paintings. They were some very big dragon paintings flying. They're from the future. They're flying through the sky, and there's crystals, and there's dragonflies, and there's angels, and it's all sorts of energy. And so you can go to my website, talesfromthevector.com, and look the paintings up if you want to see them. I'm in the process of bringing the oracle out. I have the painting part done now because I completed them all, 64 of them in 2020. And I have some of the information, but the best way to, to put an oracle out there and know exactly what to write about each card is to play with them online, and that's what I'm doing. So I'm gathering information right now, and when I feel like, okay, every card is going to be happy with the information that I write up, then it'll be ready to go. So in the description box below, I have there's numbers on these cards that represents the number on the painting in my gallery. And so check it out if you're interested. All right, so here we go. I've been tuning into this energy. I want to see what card wants to go. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is talking about having harmony. And this is talking about you're a superstar. Like this is like whatever achievement you did here, it required quite a bit of work. And it's about being able to speak about it and be proud of it. That's the energy I'm getting. And you might even be this King of Swords energy. You might have been going to school or something and you put all this work into it, and you might have been valedictorian of your class. You have your degree now. You might be started off going to medical school, and it was discovered that, wow, you have really good talent to be a surgeon, and you're you could be one of the top surgeons in the country kind of energy. It's that kind of energy. It's like, I feel like you have a special skill. Each person on the planet has something that's unique to them, whether or not, sometimes we can't see it or we can't find it right away. We have to go through a few cycles to do so. But that's part of the fun of life, right? And so our job, a lot of times people will say, well, what's my purpose? Your purpose is to be the best version of you. And the best way to do that is to explore, yourself through different opportunities, etc. But some people don't want to have to do that. They just want the reward without the work kind of energy. And we have, there's some sort of tactics, and it's because of that. This is the energy I'm picking up. People can see, maybe you can't even see it, how talented you are and all these opportunities coming towards you because you've just been busy working or studying and working, And now, and this is talking about the shame doesn't belong to you. If someone's been cheating on you, it belongs to them. And so the degradation of your energy, that's where you need to go inward and heal yourself and recognize that you need to let these people deal with their own shift and you move forward on your destined plan. And then we have, because the thing is the energy is, if they're going to be dealt karma, then you're going to end up having to deal with it if you still hang out with them. And so you need to separate yourself from any energy that is going to degrade your energy. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So some of these people might even have, it's not that they're bad people sometimes, but they have ulterior motives than just, oh, I wonder what's best for you kind of thing, And so the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So be aware of what other people's intentions are and make sure that you stay on your path and that you're not bending your will and carrying burdens for other people because they made a mistake. And it's like, oh, well, now you had all this opportunity coming in and you maybe earned, you're at a level in money making now where you're at your heart's desires and you're going for your crown and glory. And they've been caught up in some illegal mess and they need to hire a lawyer and they can't afford to. And you're saying, well, I guess you're just going to have to deal with that on your own because I'm using my money to go after my heart's desires. Bye. That's it's hard to do sometimes, especially if it's someone you love and it's family, but it's imperative that you do that. And again, using your using your intuition as well as your logic is really important. Because that's what this is saying here. If your intuition is telling you there's something off, don't sign anything, don't, and if you need to cut ties with them, because quite often when if people have been doing something shifty behind your back, they'll avoid you. They will avoid you because they don't want you, they don't want you to know what they've done. But if they need you, then all of a sudden they show up again, right? And they have a tendency, some people, to show up right when you have an opportunity presented to you. And there's some people that they, instead of going after their own destined path, which would be the intelligent thing to do, basically, instead they do this. And they're sneaking around in broad daylight doing, like dangerous. It's not just dangerous for them, but it's dangerous for the people around them. And then we have the energy of the Virgo energy. So this is about strong communication here. No understanding, like again, dot your I's, cross your T's, and recognize that some people around you may be back in your life or whatever because of the opportunities that you have. And it can also represent a third party that possibly is in a relationship, that you're in a relationship and the third party is someone close to you. And so, just be aware of that energy. It doesn't have to be. Virgo energy is talking about communication. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. And if you know anything about astrology, when Mercury goes retrograde, which means that from the view of the Earth, it appears to be going backwards, the communication can get really crazy. Like if you purchase things like a computer at that time, it's more likely to have like issues than if there's a bad apple in the bunch, you're gonna end up choosing that if you're not really like that. Some people are like ridiculous about it, and they're like, I'm not doing anything for what? It's like a long time. It's at least 3 weeks or whatever. That, to me, that doesn't make sense, but it's a really good time to go inward and look at your intuition, what it's saying, and also make plans for going into the future. And if you need to purchase something, just make sure that you read the warranty, that you read the contract, that you dot your I's, you cross your T's, you go to someone that is an expert in those matters if you need to be, to make sure that what you're signing is valuable. Now, I want to point out, when the horoscope signs come up in my general collective readings like this, I'm not talking about the individual signs, oh, it's a Virgo that did this kind of energy. I am talking about the state of being of that sign. We all have a little bit of each planet in us somewhere in our birth chart. If we have it done, you'll see that. And we all have a little bit of each sign in us. And so we can really learn from the other signs. And the sun, when our sun sign is a specific sign, which is what a lot of tarot readers, like, we do the sun signs. But having said that, there's qualities of that sign in different areas of your life, and it can be very valuable information. So that's what I'm looking at, the state of being of the sign, when it's like, what can we learn from this? And I'm also looking at sometimes the stage of life. So the Virgo energy is that energy that I was picking up before, like where you could have been studying and now you have the papers, or they discovered, hey, you have this real talent for being a surgeon, so you do a few extra years of schooling so that you can go be that kind of energy. So in your own circumstance, it very well could be that there's a person that's the signs that come up, but that's not my intention. My intention is more to use it for educational purposes. We have the battle star here. And so this is talking about the solar plexus energy, and that's having courage. That's sort of the gateway. The lower chakras are more about, the earthly matters. The base chakra is talking about, your survival and fears, etc. And as we move our way up, the solar plexus is what opens us to our heart's desires, this energy here. And so this energy is talking about, remember to breathe. So that's like, and you may think, oh, that sounds really funny. Of course I'm breathing, or I wouldn't be alive. Having said that, sometimes when we're in anxious situations, we can be holding our breath and not even realize it. So not getting, and also a lot of times when you go into a meditative state, your breathing becomes deeper and you get more oxygen flowing into your system, and it's very healing. And so, yeah, the energy here, I just feel that there could be people around you. You know, a lot of times people think like, oh, that, you know, that person was so lucky to be able to have this. And it's like, what are you talking about? Where have you been for the last 7 years while I've been studying and working my butt off and working 2 jobs so I can afford to go to school? They've been out partying, right? And then they're like, oh, now all of a sudden, like, oh, this person's lucky. No, you're more, you know, you've applied yourself to your destined path, and you deserve the reward for that. And you don't deserve to have your energy degraded by other people who are just looking for a quick opportunity. And so a lot of times, unfortunately, there is the karmic space of jealousy, and people tend to be you know, jealous of other people, that when opportunities come up and they kind of like, oh, like I deserve that too kind of energy. They don't deserve it, I deserve it. Somehow they talk themselves into this, you know. And so this is saying, if this is happening to you, I'd rather be better than bitter. So you need to move forward on your path and let them deal with burdens, and you put any burdens that don't belong to you down, because you've already done the work. This is like, this is going through a cycle. And sometimes a person only goes through one cycle in their life. You know, you might go through 10 cycles in your life if you're someone that is like in this energy where you start a project, you finish it, and then you move on to the next one. Some people only, they stay in the same, which is fine, but they stay in the same career or whatever for their entire lifetime, and then they retire. So, you know, keep in mind that this is your time, basically, and that and your energy that you've put into it, and you're the one who deserves the reward for this. Don't degrade your energy by carrying burdens for other people that have not been there for you, especially when you've been busy at work. That kind of energy. Instead, they've been with your partner. That, you know, so. Please do like and comment if you've enjoyed this or received some benefit from it. It really does help me build my channel, and I really appreciate it. Also, subscribe to the channel if you resonate. It would be my honor if you did so. I will be back in the near future with some more random shift. Bye for now.